Today we will start with carboanions. These are also the reactive intermediates. Earlier we have done carbocations. Now it's carboanions. What are carboanions are? As the name indicates, anions means negative charge and carbo means carbon. So the chemical species in which carbon carries negative charge and it is electron rich and it has lone pair of electrons that are called carboanions. So carboanions are in which carbon carries negative charge and it has lone pair of electrons. Example, CH3 negative charge. So how these are formed is generally by dissociation of molecule by base. Suppose this is any molecule and with base carrying negative charge, base abstracts proton and these electrons remain with carbon. So carbon carries negative charge, that is with lone pair of electrons, and BH is formed. So by dissociation of molecule by base, carboanions are formed. Similarly, with if nucleophile is added to multiple bond, carbon-carbon double bond or carbon triple bond, then we also get carboanions. That is, this is the alkene. When nucleophile attacks on the carbon, then the electrons will move to other, pi electrons will move to this, so this will carry positive charge and nucleophile can attack this carbon. So we get these electrons move to this negative charge and this nucleophile gets attached to carbon, so this carbanion is formed. So carboanions can be formed by the dissociation of molecule by base or by the addition of nucleophile to carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-carbon triple bond also. So next is its structure. So let's take up a simple example, CH3 positive carboanion. In this, carbon is sp3 hybridized, that is it has 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals. So this carbon has 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals, 1 orbital, 2 orbital and 3 orbital, and 4th orbital contains the lone pair of electrons. And so this lone pair and this bond pair repulsion is more, so these bonds are directed just closer to each other and this bond angle now no longer remains the tetrahedral bond angle due to the lone pair bond pair repulsion is greater than bond pair repulsions. So carboanions now have planar structure instead of tetrahedral structure. In this orbital contains lone pair and this 3 orbitals form bond with other atoms. If it is CH3, then this 3 bonds will form bond with s orbital of hydrogen. So carboanions have carbon with sp3 hybridization and they have planar structure. So next is their classification. If we broadly classify, these are of 3 types: primary carboanions, secondary carboanions and then tertiary carboanions. Primary carboanions means the chemical species in which carbon which carries negative charge is attached to one other carbon atom or no other carbon atom. In this carbon carrying negative charge is not attached to any other carbon atom, so it is primary, and this is also primary carbocation. And in this, secondary means the carbocation or carbon carrying negative charge is attached to 2 other carbon atoms, so it is 2 degree. In this, it is attached to 3 other carbon atoms, so it is 3 degree or tertiary carboanions. So it is primary, secondary and tertiary carboanions. Now next, the question arises of its stability. Which are more stable? The stability can be explained on the basis of various factors. First is inductive effect. If we consider inductive effect, as we already know what is the inductive effect, in this there is a permanent displacement of electrons towards a polar covalent bond attached at the end of the carbon chain. This we have already done. Now in this The alkyl groups are attached to the various carbanions. In this alkyl group has positive inductive effect. Positive inductive effect means they increases the negative charge on the carbon. When they increases the negative charge on the carbon and carbon has already negative charge, so thus will destabilize the carbanion. The carbanion will get destabilized. So lesser the number of alkyl groups, greater will be the stability. So lesser the number of alkyl groups, so lesser will be the electron density of carbon, lesser it will destabilize it. So primary are more stable, and then as secondary, and then as tertiary. Similarly, hybridization can also explain the stability of carbanions. As we take up these three carbanions, it is carbanion formed from alkyl, it is from double bond, that is alkenyl, and it is from triple bond, that is alkenyl. So we have three carbanions. Out of these, which are more stable, this we can easily explain on the basis of hybridization. Triple bond means sp hybridization, double bond means sp2 hybridization, single bond means sp hybridization. Now in this S and P characters are 50%, in this S now is 33%, only third part, and in this it is sp3 hybridization, in this it is only 25%. So now in this, if we see, as the S character decreases, or we can say, what is the significance of S character? S character is the electronegativity of carbon. Greater the S character, greater will be the electronegativity of the carbon, that is, it will attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself, that is, it have more tendency to attract the electrons, and so when it is more electronegative, it can easily accommodate negative charge. As we know, electronegative atom can easily accommodate negative charge, electropositive atom can easily accommodate positive charge. So these carbon have 50% S character, that is, it is highly electronegative. So greater is the electronegativity, and greater it can easily accommodate the negative charge. But in this, S character is less, so this carbon is less electronegative as compared to this. When it is less electronegative, it can accommodate negative charge less readily as compared to this, so it is less stable. And in this carbon has 25% S character, very less amount of S character, that is, it is very less electronegative. When it is less electronegative, it can still not easily accommodate the negative charge. So out of these three carbanions, these are most stable and these are less than these are least. These are the most stable because in this carbon has sp hybridization and it has greater amount of S character, so it is more electronegative. More electronegative means it can easily accommodate negative charge. So we can say alkenyl. So we can say alkenyl ion will be the most stable. Alkenyl ion will be most stable. Alkenyl are these are the alkenyl, and then the alkenyl, these are alkenyl double bond, therefore en alkenyl, and these are the alkyl carbanions. So we can easily explain the stability of carbanions on the basis of hybridization. So next factors which can explain the stability of carbanions is resonance. As we already know what is resonance, how can we draw various resonance structures in a similar way. Now this is a benzyl carbanion, benzyl carbanion, okay. Then this benzyl carbanion has a different resonating structures. These can be easily written. If these electrons present on the carbon moves towards this, then these will move towards this, that this carbon will have negative charge and here will be double bond. So now this charge moves to alternate positions. So leaving this, it will move to this next structure, and then this, after this it will move to this carbon, that is this structure. And when these electrons come back to ring and these electrons come back to carbon, so we get these first structure back with alternate position of double bonds. So these are the various resonance structures of this carbanion. This carbanion is benzyl carbanion. So benzyl carbanion is resonance stabilized, so it will be more stable. But now if we compare these structures, that is this carbanion, in this only one carbon hydrogen is replaced with benzene, and if these hydrogens are further replaced by phenyl group, here both hydrogens are replaced by phenyl group. So if we compare these two structures, then which will be more stable? Which will be more stable? The phenyl group gives the various resonance structures as seen above. So in this 3 phenyl groups are present, so it will give 3 times such structures. So greater the number of structures, greater will be the stability. So these carbanion will be more stable than this. So more stable due to resonance stabilization, or we say it will have 3 times resonance structures as compared to this. So resonance can also explain easily the stability of carbanions. So now next reactive intermediate comes the free radicals. Free radicals means chemical species or atoms or group of atoms with odd electron, or we can say unpaired electron. These are the chemical species in which atom or group of atoms having odd or unpaired electron. Example, CH3 with free electron, Cl with odd electron. These are free radicals. Now how these are formed? Free radicals are formed by the thermal or photochemical homolysis of covalent bond. As we already discussed earlier also, homolysis leads to free radicals. So for the homolysis we generally require high temperature. So by thermal or by photochemical homolysis of covalent bond we get free radicals. As in this example, it is tetramethyl lead. Tetramethyl lead on heating gives lead plus 4 methyl free radicals. Similarly, if peroxides, that is it is benzoyl peroxide with 2 oxygen atoms, this homolysis, equal distribution of electrons takes place, and this bond when breaks with single electrons, 2 such free radicals are formed, 2 C6H5 C double bond O free radical, and this free radical further break up to give phenyl free radical, and this gives carbon dioxide. So phenyl free radicals are formed. Similarly, we can also get free radicals by oxidation reduction reactions, that is by loss of or gain of electrons. In this, that is carboxylate ion, if 1 electron is removed, that is from here, only single electron will be here present, that is O free radical, and further thus at anode when reactions takes place in oxidation reductions, that is both oxidation and reduction, that is both anode and cathode reactions are taking place, and then this carboxylate ion releases carbon dioxide and free radical is formed. So by thermal or photolysis or by oxidation reduction reactions we can get free radicals. Now their structures. Let us take up example CH3 free radical. In this, carbon is sp2 hybridized that is, it has 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, 1, 2, 3, and fourth is unhybridized orbital. Unhybridized orbital contains the odd electron. So these have planar structures again. Free radicals have planar structures, and in this the odd electron is present in unhybridized orbital. And so next is the classification and its stability. As classification is very similar to earlier also, we have done carbocations, carboanions. In this, carbon carrying odd electron is attached to one carbon atom or no other carbon atom, then it is primary free radical. In this, it is attached to no other carbon atom. In this, it is attached to one other carbon atom, so it is primary free radical. If it is attached to two other carbon atoms, then it is secondary free radical. If this carbon carrying odd electron is attached to three other carbon atoms, then it is 3-degree free radical. Out of these, we know that tertiary free radicals are more stable than secondary than primary, and this can be explained on the various factors. Like first is hyperconjugation. In hyperconjugation, this topic we have already done in first chapter, and in this free radicals, overlap takes place between sigma and p orbital carrying odd electron. The orbital of p which carries odd electron overlaps with sigma orbital. That is, here this is the sigma bond, that is, here it is sigma orbital, and this orbital carrying unpaired electron shows overlapping. That is, now this bond means two electrons. The single electron is indicated by this single arrow. So this electron moves to this, and this electron moves to this. Now here comes the double bond, and this hydrogen is left with one single electron, that is one single electron, and here is double bond, and this electron is involved in double bond, that is, this electron and this electron both forms a bond here. So this bond is formed. As we can see, this hydrogen, this bond of this hydrogen is involved here in double bond, that is involved in hyperconjugation. Similarly, we can show this hydrogen here. This hydrogen is involved in hyperconjugation, and this similarly in the third structure, this hydrogen bond is involved, that is, this hydrogen is free, and this electron is moved towards this, and double bond is formed. So hyperconjugation in this sigma and p orbital carrying odd electron is present, and this carbon carrying odd electron, now has one alkyl group attached to it. So one alkyl group has three hydrogens, so it has three this hyperconjugating structures. Similarly, in this it has one alkyl group, three hydrogens attached. It will give three hyperconjugating structures. In this, two alkyl groups, that is 6 hydrogens are present, so 6 hyperconjugating structures will be there. In this, 3 alkyl groups, that is 9 hydrogens are present, so it will give 9 hyperconjugating structures. As we have already done in hyperconjugation, greater the number of hyperconjugating structures, greater the stability. So this tertiary free radical will be more stable than secondary than primary. That is, larger the number of hyperconjugating structures, greater is the delocalization of electrons, and greater is the stability. So larger the number of methyl groups attached to carbon carrying odd electron, greater is the number of structures, and hence greater is the stability. This we have already discussed in upper structures also. So tertiary will be more stable than secondary than primary, and then is methyl free radical with no hyperconjugating structure. So next is how resonance can also explain the stability of free radicals. In this again benzyl, it is benzyl free radical because now there is an odd electron present in it. earlier there was a negative charge, so benzyl carbanion. So it is benzyl free radical because carbon carries free radical or odd electron. It is also highly stabilized by resonance, as we have seen in the case of carbanions. In that two electrons moved, now single electrons moves from here and single electron from this. Here double bonds is formed, and this electron is left on this carbon, that is this carbon. Similarly, now this odd electron will be present on this carbon, that is this structure, and then on this carbon, that is this structure. So we have different structures, hyperconjugating resonating structures in due to the presence of this odd electron. So these structures decide that benzyl free radical is more stable or it is resonance stabilized. Similarly, allyl is also more stable than alkyl. Allyl means that is carbon with odd electron is attached to the carbon which carries double bond. So this is allyl free radical. In this, if this single electron moves towards this single electron moves towards this is shown by this fish arrows. Here double bond will be formed and this electron will be left on this carbon, that is free radical, and here will be double bond. So these are the two resonating structures of allyl. But in this, there is no resonance. Hyperconjugating structures are formed, but there is no resonance as compared to this. So allyl free radical is more stable. And this is all about the carbanions and free radicals. Then next we will take up the carbenes and nitrines. So thank you.